hands it off to Grant Raber going at the 15, down to the 5, gets into the end zone for Homestead. 15-yard run for Grant Raber, gets Homestead on the board.
Trying to get inside, nothing there. Step back, open 3, it's gone! Todd Curry knocks it down! Spartans win! Spartans win!
On your dial at 91.1 FM and online at WCYT.org, it's time for the action of Homestead Spartan Athletics.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from Homestead High School for today's girls basketball non-conference matchup featuring the visiting team on the scoreboard. The number 1 ranked team in the state, 19-0, Lawrence North Lady Wildcats, who currently hold John Harrell's imaginary traveling trophy, and are coached by Chris Giffen, who is in his 8th season at Lawrence North, and the home team, the number 5, 14-1 Homestead Lady Spartans, who are led by interim head coach Kara Ankenbrook, who is filling in for head coach Rod Parker as he recovers from a medical leave of absence. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Matt Sofrick alongside Braden Carroll, and we're just about 20 minutes away from tip-off of this afternoon's game. Continuing on in our pregame show, let's look at some of our predictions for this upcoming Tuesday. First up, we have Northside at Belmont, and I think I know where you're going in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Belmont's a really tough team. They're 12-4 so far on the season. Meanwhile, Northside 1-15. That's not a great record, so I'll take Belmont by a long shot. Yeah, I also have Belmont, and then we have Lakewood Park at Northrop this Tuesday. Well, I'm kind of going on my gut with this one. I don't really know that much about Lakewood Park, but I don't really think Northrop can contend with them. Northrop having a tough season, barely hanging on to it, an above 500 record, so I'll take Lakewood. I'll go with Northrop in that one. Then New Haven at Bishop Luers. That one should also be a blowout. Yeah, New Haven is a struggling team this season. They haven't really found any footing, conference or outside of conference. Meanwhile, Luers, they have some great players. Reinbold won a Player of the Week only a couple of weeks ago, so I'll take Luers in a blowout. And then Northfield at Homestead. It's this coming Tuesday. There will be no radio broadcast, but we'll have the YouTube live stream available this coming Tuesday night. I'm picking Homestead to win that one. Yeah, I mean, Northfield has some quality wins, but you know, Homestead is Homestead. They're one of the best teams in the state, and no matter really what happens in this game, that'll still be the stance, so I'm going to take the Spartans big. Yeah, I also agree. Should be a big win for Homestead. I believe Northfield, they're a 1A school. They went far in the postseason last year. Now looking at some games for this upcoming Wednesday, we have Bishop Dwenger at Norwell in what could be another blowout. Yeah, I mean, Norwell is having a really good season. They above 10-win season, meanwhile Dwenger at 500. And, I mean, those 7 wins came at the start of the season, and the other 7, well, they came from the last 7 games. They are on a losing streak, or they haven't gotten a single win this year. So, I mean, I have to go with Norwell big. Yeah, I'm also going with Norwell. Just a tough stretch for Bishop Dwenger. Started the season 7-0 and probably going to fall to 7-8 after Wednesday's game against Norwell. Another game, Wayne at Concordia, a rare SAC conference game on Wednesday. Who do you have in that one? Well, Concordia, I mean, they're barely above 500. They've been struggling recently. They have a 4-game losing skid. Haven't really played good since they lost to Homestead at home in the cage. Meanwhile, Wayne, they just came off of a really great win against Northside where everything seemed to go right. I'm going to go with the upset and give the Generals a well-deserved win. I'm going to go with Concordia, and then on Thursday, we have Northrop at Belmont. Well, Belmont, we already talked about this Belmont team. They're 12-4, really good in their conference. Meanwhile, Northrop, they're kind of struggling right now in the SAC. However, they have won the last 2, but I don't see that streak lasting after they play the Braves. So we both have Belmont in that one. That's going to take us to another break, but when we come back, we'll take a deeper look into Homestead's win over their rival, the Southside Lady Archers, last night. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Homestead Spartan basketball, the Point 91 FM.
Homestead athletic coverage on the Point 91 FM is brought to you by
Arby's of Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zesto's. Arby's is more than roast beef, with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, and chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's of Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arbys.com.
Casa Italian Restaurants, family owned and operated since 1977, with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road. Featuring the Casa Burro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Find more information at CasaRestaurants.com or by following Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT Sports broadcasts.
Okay, here are 3 important reasons why your son or daughter should play a sport in high school.
Number 1.
High school sports teach valuable life lessons like self-discipline and time management skills.
2.
Teens who play a high school sport have better grade point averages.
And number 3.
High school sports are safer than ever before.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Moe's Southwest Grill, located at 6739 West Jefferson Boulevard, next to Dunkin' Donuts Baskin-Robbins. You can contact Moe's by calling 969-MOE's, or for catering, that number is 969-EATS. Moe's specializes in Southwestern foods like burritos, tacos, and nachos with no microwaves or freezers. You can visit Moe's online at moes.com. Thank you, Moe's, for supporting the .91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead athletic coverage on our station.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carry out by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the .91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
And now let's head back out to the gymnasium for more Homestead Lady Spartan basketball right here on the .91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School for this afternoon's girls basketball matchup featuring the number 5 Homestead Lady Spartans and the number 1 Lawrence North Lady Wildcats. I'm Matt Stolfreg alongside Braden Carroll, continuing on in the pregame show, and this Homestead Lady Spartan team is coming off a tough win over their rival Southside last night, 56-49. Southside played great in the first quarter, dominating the boards and controlling the paint, but a few shots in the closing seconds of the first quarter gave Homestead a slim 13-12 lead. However, in the second quarter is when the Lady Spartans really picked up their play and led by 8, 27-19 at halftime. In the third quarter, we saw Homestead's lead get as big as 11 before a late Southside run got them to within 3 points at the end of the third. And in the final quarter of play, Homestead was in control for most of the 8 minutes, but Southside did cut the lead to 1 possession multiple times, but Homestead was just too good and ended up pulling out the 56-49 win last night on the road.
Yeah, and Parker lit up the court with 15 points coming from the arc in a game where points was what the Homestead Spartans needed the most, and it really was a battle the entire way through as the Southside Archers just refused to give up no matter the score. And yeah, they got it within 1 several times in the fourth quarter, but they just couldn't contend for the entire game with Homestead. They lingered for a while, but it's tough to beat the Spartans in the SAC this season, so the girls got a huge win on the road nonetheless.
It was a big win. Riley Parker, 17 points, like you said, 15 of those coming on 5 made threes. Patterson had 16 and Graber had 15. The team, they shot 46% from the field, but they were out-rebounded 42-23. Southside had 19 offensive rebounds. Homestead only had 5 offensive rebounds, but the Spartans, they turned it over fewer than double digits for the first time in a while, I believe. So a nice win for Homestead last night. And last night's game would go a long way in deciding who wins the SAC regular season, as both Southside and Homestead were unbeaten at the time. But with the Homestead win, the Lady Spartans are 6-0 in the conference, with Southside, Carroll, and Bishop Luers at 4-1. However, Homestead's remaining opponents, Snyder, Northside, and Northrop, are combined 4-13 in the SAC. So in a sense, the Lady Spartans have nearly locked up the SAC for the 5th straight season, as they improved to 42-0 all-time in Summit Athletic Conference games since joining the league in the 2015-16 season.
Yeah, I mean, the odds Homestead loses to even one of those cakewalks out of Snyder, Northside, and their other opponent, I don't see any of those happening. And it's just been a great season so far for Homestead, and I see it continuing. They have just been dominating all season long in the SAC and outside of the SAC when it comes to in-state. They're just one of the toughest teams out there. Not only do I see them win the SAC, but I see them going further.
Yeah, and last night was one of the more balanced games we saw from the Homestead offense as Sydney Graber, Riley Parker, and Ayanna Patterson each scored 15 or more points, but one negative thing to take away from last night is that no one scored off the bench for Homestead as the starters combined for all 56 points scored. If the Lady Spartans want any chance of beating Lawrence North today, they're going to need contributions from more than just a starting five.
Yeah, I mean, it was balanced, but only among the starters, like you said. They have a lot of problems with getting points off of the bench. If Homestead needs energy off of the bench, especially in a game like this where some starters could struggle against a really powerful defense, they'll need some of those bench warmers to get out there and get some points to get this team motivated. So today especially, is when Homestead really needs those bench warmers to get some points on the board.
And this Homestead team is nearly out of the toughest stretch of their schedule. 2 Fridays ago, the Lady Spartans traveled to North Central, a top 10 ranked team in the state at the time. Then last night took on Southside, with the winner moving to first alone in the SAC, and then take on the #1 ranked team in the state, the Lawrence North Lady Wildcats. And regardless of what happens today, this Homestead team proved they are one of the best teams in the state.
Yeah, I mean, a loss today doesn't really affect how everybody in the state views Homestead. They'll still be seen as one of the best in the state, if not the best, but it wouldn't be a surprise to see them win tonight. Honestly, the Spartans don't really have anything to lose today, but knowing the squad, they probably won't play like that.
Yeah, and that's going to take us to another break, but when we come back, we'll take a look into what we'll see from Homestead's opponent this afternoon, the 19-0 #1 ranked team in the state, the Lawrence North Lady Wildcats. We'll talk about expectations at Lawrence North this year and how this team is looking for a second straight state championship appearance. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Homestead Spartan basketball, The Point 91 FM.
Homestead athletic coverage on The Point 91 FM is brought to you by
Marco's Pizza, located at 1345 Illinois Road inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carry out by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
Arby's at Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zestos. Arby's is more than roast beef with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's at Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arbys.com.
And now, let's head back out to the gymnasium for more Homestead Lady Spartan basketball, right here on The Point 91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School for this afternoon's girls basketball matchup featuring the #5 Homestead Lady Spartans and the #1 Lawrence North Lady Wildcats. I'm Matt Salfrank alongside Braden Carroll, continuing on in the pregame show. And when these two teams matched up last year, the game was at Lawrence North. Homestead led pretty much the entire game by double digits and ended up winning 59-46. And since the Lady Spartans joined the SAC, they are 4-0 against Lawrence North. And even though the Lady Wildcats are the #1 ranked team in the state, Homestead is favored to win this game by 4 points, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, the way Homestead has played recently against teams like Southside and others that they have faced on their tough schedule that they've had recently, I don't blame them for giving Homestead a nod. I mean, Ayanna Patterson, Riley Parker, and Sydney Graber have just formed a team with the sky as their limit and have proven themselves time and time again. So even though Lawrence North are tough as nails, it seems like everyone is caught up around the Spartan hype.
In last postseason, it was 2 different stories for these programs. Homestead played in what is known as a regional death and faced Hamilton Southeastern in the championship game. The Lady Spartans would eventually lose by 10. Meanwhile, Lawrence North played in what is one of the toughest sectionals in the state, which include Warren Central and North Central. Once the Lady Panthers got out of sectionals, they had a fairly easily path to the state championship. where they would face the same Hamilton Southeastern team that beat Homestead a few weeks prior. HSC would end up winning the state championship by 11 over Lawrence North, but the Wildcats put up a fight. And the only reason I bring that up is last postseason, the Lady Wildcats are heavy favorites to make it to the state championship from the South this season. In Homestead, they have to deal with Hamilton Southeastern, Fishers, Carmel, and Northwestern, some of the best teams in the state, all in the same regional.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to these teams in the playoffs, if there's no major mishaps for the Wildcats, they'll be in the state final, but it'll take no minor mistakes for the Spartans to make it because they have such a tough regional with teams like Carmel, Hamilton Southeastern, and Fishers. I mean, those are some of the toughest teams in the state and really in the Midwest. I mean, it will just take a lot for Homestead to fight through what will be a tough route to the state championship once the playoffs come around. They will be challenged game after game, definitely, which could be in their favor because, I mean, if we see Lawrence North in the state championship again, and if we see Homestead in the state championship, Homestead will have that experience that the Wildcats won't.
Yeah, I expect Lawrence North to make it to the state championship as of January 11th. The state championship about a month and a half away, I believe. I'd be shocked if the Lady Wildcats don't make it out of the South region. The North is just loaded this season, more specifically just the regional. And Lawrence North is currently the #1 ranked team in the state with a 19-0 record. And more importantly, they also have possession of John Harrell's coveted traveling trophy. Who can we expect to see have a big game for the Lady Wildcats today?
Well, I really expect 3 players to make a huge impact. They have a really strong backcourt with Jayla Smith at the guard position and Christian Young at the point guard position. Both of them put an output of 27 points per game, with Smith going in 3 rebounds per game as a guard, which is quite impressive considering those girls usually aren't deep inside of the paint, while Young puts up 4 assists per game. Both of them are really good role players and really good stars for this team, so they'll definitely be watched by this Homestead defense.
We have a good game coming up in just about, let's say, 7 minutes or so between the #1 ranked team in the state, Lawrence North Lady Wildcats. They travel all the way to Fort Wayne to take on the #5 ranked Homestead Lady Spartans, who's 14-1 on the season. The one loss to win by 2 points on the road to Notre Dame Academy, who's currently a top 5 team in the state of Ohio. So we should have a good game on our hands today, potentially a state championship finals preview in about a month and a half. And that's going to take us to another break. But first, we'll get the chance to hear my sit-down with Homestead interim head coach Kara Ankenbrook and hear her thoughts on how the team played last night against Southside and preview today's matchup. So stay tuned. You're listening to home of Homestead Spartan basketball, the Point 91 FM.
Casa Italian Restaurants, family owned and operated since 1977, with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road. Featuring the Casa Burro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Find more information at CasaRestaurants.com or by following Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT Sports broadcasts.
Welcome back to the pregame show. I'm now joined by Homestead Spartan girls basketball interim coach Kara Ankenbrook. And coach, we start off with last night's matchup against Southside, as the team got the 56-49 win and improved to 6-0 in the SAC. What is your reaction to the team's performance last night?
I was so proud of the girls. We went into that game with a little bit of nerves, I could tell in the beginning. Nervous energy is always good, though. I was so proud that they came out and they just executed on the offensive end. It was a game that they definitely wanted. We started out the season planning to go undefeated in conference, and that was just one step closer to doing that.
And last night was one of the most balanced scoring games, as Sydney Graber, Ayanna Patterson, and Riley Parker all had 15 or more points. It's nice to have so many players who are capable of having big scoring games, but how good is this team when it's as balanced as it was last night?
Yeah, last night we shared the ball. We worked the ball really well. When we have a balance like that, it's really hard to guard us. When there's one girl scoring, they can kind of key in on her. So tonight we need to do the same thing. Today we need to do the same thing and make sure that we're sharing the ball, working it around. If we do it quickly, we should get some open shots.
And while it was a balanced scoring attack from the starters, no one scored from off the bench last night. You obviously won the game, but is good bench play something you think this team will need to make a run in the tourney or to beat the level of teams they're playing today?
Absolutely. Sometimes when girls come in off the bench, we tell them a lot of times they need to be the glue, hold everyone together, not necessarily looking to score right off the bench, getting into the game a little bit. But today when we're looking at, the three top scorers, they're going to be keying in on them. So others have to be ready to step up and shoot and be confident doing so.
I want to talk about your new role as interim head coach. It's been nearly a month since you assumed the role as head coach. We know the circumstances weren't easy, but can you talk about what you're learning each and every night, being the one that players are looking at now each day?
Yeah, if I'm ever going to step into a role that's not mine, this was a perfect situation. Obviously, the circumstances were not what we wanted, but the team and myself just had to step up and do what was asked of us. Every day in practice, they work really hard, and I'm learning something from them, and I hope they're learning things from me as well. I've enjoyed my time with them. We're looking forward to getting Coach Parker back on the sidelines with us, but every day we just work hard and we do our part, and I've enjoyed it a lot.
And today your team takes on the Lawrence North Wildcats, the #1 ranked team in the state. The Wildcats are currently undefeated and have beaten a lot of the top teams in the Indy area. What do you know about this 19-0 Lady Wildcat team?
Geez, when you say it like that, they're sounding pretty good. We've watched them on film. We know what they're going to do. We have a plan. We just have to come out and execute. I'm excited to coach today. They're excited to play. It's one of those games. It's rare for us. We're the underdog, so we have nothing to lose. We're going to go out there and show that we should be ranked higher than them.
And last season, the Spartans traveled down to Lawrence North and came away with a 13-point win in a game they led the majority of. And since these two teams started playing each year, the Spartans are 4-0 against the Lady Wildcats. We know that these are two of the premier programs in the state. What is it like playing in a game like this compared to most other games?
It's exciting. We like to play competition. We think we match up well with them. We think at every position it's pretty balanced. However, I feel like our girls are going to come out on top today. They want it. They're hungry. They have peaked at the right time. We're ready going into the end of January to continue to play some competition. So, it's any man's game today. We're just going to go out there and do our best.
And finally, Coach, what are some keys for Homestead Spartan victory today?
We have to bring the energy, but that energy has to remain focused energy. We have to make sure that we're working together as a team, playing 5 as one, listening to each other and communicating. Hopefully it's going to be a loud atmosphere, so they're going to have to communicate on the court as well.
All right, Coach, thanks and good luck today.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more of the pregame show leading up to tip-off of today's matchup. It's number 5 Homestead and number 1 Lawrence North right here on your Spartan Sports Source, the Point 91 FM.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carry out by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
And now, let's head back out to the gymnasium for more Homestead Lady Spartan basketball right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School as we get set for today's tip-off between Homestead and Lawrence North. I'm Matt Salford alongside Braden Carroll, continuing on in the pregame show, just a few minutes away from tip-off. And now let's get into some starting lineups and taking a look at the home team, the Homestead Lady Spartans, who are 14-1 on the season, with their lone loss coming on the road to a very good team from Ohio in Notre Dame Academy, who's currently ranked as the 5th best team in Ohio. The Lady Spartans are currently coached by Kara Ankerbrook, who's filling in for Rod Parker as he is currently on a medical leave of absence. She is 7-1 as an interim head coach. The Lady Spartans are currently ranked number 5 in the Class 4A media poll and number 5 in the coaches poll. Homestead's starting lineup features 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and 1 sophomore. A point guard, 5'6" junior Grace Sullivan leads the team with 5.4 assists per game. Shooting guard Riley Parker, a 5'7" senior, had a team-high 17 points last night against Southside. Forward Sydney Graber, a 6' senior. Forward Ayanna Patterson, a 6'3" sophomore. And rounding out the starting 5 for Homestead is going to be Amber Austin, a 5'11" junior, leads the team in blocks and shoots 48% from the field. Now the starting lineups for Lawrence North, it'll be Christian Young, a 5'5" senior point guard who averages 12 points a game and 4 rebounds a game. Katie Davidson, a 5'10" senior small forward, averages 12 points and 5 rebounds per game. Monica Williams, 5'9" freshman shooting guard, averages 5 and 2.5 boards a game. Lauren Gunn averages 4 points and 6 rebounds a game. Then finally, Jayla Smith, who averages 15 points and 3 rebounds a game. We're getting set for tip-off between Homestead and Lawrence North. It'll be Patterson to jump for the Spartans. And lining up on the other side of the court. Ball's up, that was Lauren Gunn, but it's controlled by the Homestead Spartans. Sullivan with the ball for the Spartans, throws it over to Parker on the right side, back to Sullivan. Now Graber on the left side. 0-0, 7:48 to go in the first quarter. Patterson feeds Austin in the post, puts up a shot. She is blocked. They call a jump ball going to Lawrence North. 0-0, 7:45 to go in the first quarter. It'll be Katie Davidson who inbounds to Christian Young for the Wildcats, #1 ranked team in the state, 19-0 overall. As Young drives in, puts up a shot off glass and banks it in. Christian Young has a 2-pointer to give Lawrence North a 2-0 lead, 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Full court press by the Wildcats. Graber picks up a dribble over to Sullivan, now on the left side. Sullivan cross half court. She's trapped, and looks like a timeout is called by interim head coach Kara Ankenbrook. Not even 40 seconds into this first quarter as the Lawrence North defense already causing some trouble for Homestead.
Yeah, I mean, we knew Homestead would have an aggressive defense, but Lawrence North, I didn't really expect them to have such an aggressive start to the game as they have right now. They've already forced one jump ball that turned into a change of possession, and well, they just got Homestead trapped past the timeline, forcing a timeout. If we see this the rest of the way, it'll be tough for the Homestead offense to be able to produce.
2-0 Lawrence North, 7:21 to go in the first quarter. I'm Matt Suffering alongside Braden Carroll. Homestead coming off a 56-49 win at Southside last night. Lawrence North are coming off a 53-45 win against Pike Thursday night. Sullivan with the ball for the Spartans. Homestead on offense. Down 2-0, 7:12 to go in the first. Graber back to Sullivan near the Spartan logo. Looks like Lawrence North in the zone defense. Sullivan, bounce pass to Patterson, knocks away. It's on the ground, stolen away by the Wildcats. Williams has it, gives it off to Young, who drives inside the lane, guarded by Sullivan. Now tosses it out for Williams. Back to Young on the left side. Crossover move on Sullivan. Picks it out now in the left corner for Williams. Back over to Davidson. Now over to Smith, top of the key, guarded by Patterson. Tosses over to Young on the left side. Drives in the paint, spin move, kicks it out for Gunn. Fake three-pointer. That was by Smith, and the shot is no good. Rebound goes to the Homestead Spartans. 2-0 Lawrence North, 6.5 to go in the first quarter. Spartans still without a point yet. Graber tip pass to Parker. Sullivan in the right corner. Dangerous pass, and it's knocked out of bounds by Lawrence North. It'll stay Homestead ball. They trail 2-0, 6:20 to go in the first quarter. And it looks like players tying their shoe. It'll be Homestead ball on the sideline. Only basket so far scored by Christian Young. 2 points for Lawrence North as Sullivan gets the inbound from Graber. Homestead with the ball. They trail 2-0, 6:13 to go in the first quarter. Parker with it for the Spartans. Back to Sullivan, top of the key. Pass to Austin at the free throw line. Finds Patterson down low, puts up a shot, and banks it in off the glass. Ayanna Patterson puts the Spartans on the board. It's 2-2, 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Matchup between #1 versus #5. Young drives in the paint, kicks it out for Gunn. And it's good. She fired it, and Gunn knocks it down. It's 4-2 Lawrence North, 5:49 to go in the first quarter. Sullivan is trapped. Lawrence North in a full court press. Graber picks up her dribble. Cross court pass to Sullivan. Spartans get it across. Now to Parker, takes a three, right corner. It's good. Riley Parker knocks down a three for the Spartans. It's 5-4 Homestead, 5:31 to go in the first quarter. Right side for Smith. Kicks it out now for Gunn, who just knocked down the shot in the right corner now, guarded by Amber Austin. Lawrence North down by 1, 5:21 to go in the first quarter, 5-4 Homestead. Davidson drives in, puts up a floater, no good. Rebound goes to Graber for the Spartans. Homestead has it, they lead 5-4, 5:11 to go in the first. And Sullivan's pass knocked away. She gets it back, bounce pass to Amber Austin, top of the key. Pass knocked out again, and Riley Parker recovers it, and that's deflected again, and it goes out of bounds. 5-4 Homestead, 5:02 to go in the first quarter. It looks like Young goes to the bench as Kaylin Irvin checks in for the Lady Wildcats, #1 ranked team in the state. And a bad pass by Sullivan recovered by Graber. Homestead up 1, 5-4, 4:58 to go in the first. Sullivan with the ball for the Spartans on the right side. Lawrence North, the zone defense. Looks like 2-3, and a bad pass goes to Patterson for the Homestead. And Graber a 3, that's no good. Amber Austin gets the rebound for the Spartans, but taken away by Jayla Smith. On the other end, Katie Davidson for the Wildcats. Shot is no good. Rebound goes to Patterson for the Spartans. Homestead up 5-4, 4:35 to go in the first. Patterson, other end, puts up a shot. Let's see, do they call a charge or a block? It looks like a blocking call against Lawrence North. Foul was on Kaylin Irvin, her first, the team's first. 5-4 Homestead, 4:34 to go in the first, so I guess they called that a shooting foul. Patterson to the line, she's now 55% on the season. First free throw, it's no good. This Homestead team didn't shoot great at the free throw line last night, I believe 6 of 13. Homestead still up by a point, 5-4, 4:34 to go in the first. Patterson second is good, she has 3. Riley Parker has 3, Christian Young has 2, and Lauren Gunn has 2. Homestead up 6-4, 4.5 to go in the first quarter. Matchup between 2 top 5 teams in the state. Lawrence North number 1 unbeaten, Homestead number 5. They've 1 loss, coming by 2. Williams with it, picks up a dribble over to Davidson. Lawrence North on offense, they trail by 2. 4:15 to go in the first. Right side now for Smith, guarded by Patterson. Picks it back out for Davidson. Free throw line jumper, no good, and the rebound goes to Homestead. Amber Austin grabs it, tosses it over to Grace Sullivan, who crosses the timeline. For the Spartans, they lead 6-4, 4 minutes to go in the first. At the midway point, Lawrence North still in a 2-3 zone defense. Parker now on the right side for the Spartans. Over to Austin. Sullivan now left side. Bounce pass to Graber in the paint. Puts up a shot. It's blocked. And a foul is called against Lawrence North. So Sydney Graber going to the free throw line for 2. Let's see who they call that foul against. Lauren Gunn. That's her first, the team's second. Homestead still no team fouls. Graber at the line for the Spartans. They lead by 2. 6-4, 3:50 to go in the first. And the first by Graber is good. So Sydney Graber now for 1 point. She's now 10 points away from scoring 1,000 points in her career. Needed 11 coming into this game. Graber knocked down the first free throw. Homestead up by 3. 3:50 to go in the first. Second by Graber is also good. She's now 9 points away from hitting the 1,000-point mark in her career. 8-4 Homestead, 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Lawrence North ball. Smith has it. Top of the key, guarded by much taller Patterson. Gets a screen from Hughes. Takes a 3. It's no good, and the rebound fought for goes to Lawrence North. Irvin in the right corner takes her own 3. That's good. Nice looking shot by Kaylin Irvin. Lawrence North cuts it to a 1-point game. 8-7 Homestead, 3:24 to go in the first. Lawrence North defense in a full court press. Spartans still haven't gotten it across. Graber finally gets it across to Austin. On the left side, back to Sullivan. Top of the key for the Spartans. Drives right side. Inside the arc now, takes it back out. Homestead up by 1, 3:10 to go in the first. Number 5 versus number 1. Lawrence North number 1, Homestead number 5. Austin at the free throw line. Pass out to Sullivan. Lawrence North defense doing a good job early on. Patterson with the ball. It's deflected. Sullivan recovers for the Spartans. Homestead up by 1 with the ball. Sullivan drives in, picks up her dribble. Can't find anyone, gets it to Graber in the paint. Spin move, loses it. Puts up a shot, and it's blocked. Ball on the ground. And it looks like another jump ball is called, and that should be going to, and will be going to Homestead. 8-7 Spartans lead, 2:44 to go in the first quarter. It'll be Homestead ball underneath their own basket. Very intense game so far. Sullivan looks to find Graber and does. Left corner 3. It's good. Sydney Graber knocks down the 3 for the Spartans. She now has 5. Homestead up 11-7, 2:35 to go in the first quarter. Young on the other end is fouled. A reach in on the Spartans. That was Grace Sullivan we saw last night. I believe all the starters had at least 2 personal fouls against Southside, but that was the team's first. It'll still be Lawrence North ball. Davidson set to inbound. 11-7 Homestead, 2:33 to go in the first quarter. Davidson gets it in to Hughes in the left corner, back out to Young on the left side. No, Smith will walk it out, takes it back in, step back deep 2, in and out. Rebound goes to Austin for the Spartans. Homestead up 11-7, 2:20 to go in the first. Sullivan over to Graber in the free throw line. Nice move, gives it back out to Austin, over to Sullivan. Takes her own 3. That's no good, and the rebound goes to Lawrence North. Irvin with it. They trail 11-7, 2:08 to go in the first. Irvin tosses over to Young, and a travel against Young, so it's going back to Homestead. 11-7 Spartans, 2:06 to go in the first quarter. Lawrence North 2 team fouls, Homestead 1 team foul. It's been a very intense game so far. Like I said, Lawrence North number 1 ranked team in the state. They haven't lost, 19-0. Homestead 14-1, number 5 ranked team in the state. Spartans with the ball on offense, up by 4. Under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Patterson finds Graber deep 2, and she drains it. Sydney Graber, another bucket for the Spartans. She now has 7. She's 4 away from hitting the 1,000-point mark. Homestead up 13-7, 1:41 to go in the first quarter. As Irvin has it at the Spartan logo. Guarded by Graber, who has 7. Now left side for Young. Lawrence North down by 6. Under 90 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Young gets a screen, picks up her dribble, eventually finds Smith, who drives inside the paint, kicks it out for Irvin, a 3 in the left corner. It's good. Kaylin Irvin with 2 threes. She has 6. It's now a 3-point game, 13-10 Homestead, 1:08 to go in the first quarter. Sullivan drives inside the arc, bounce pass out to Parker on the ground, and it's going to Lawrence North. A turnover on the Spartans. Only had 9 last night, but 1 right there. 1:02 to go in the first quarter. 13-10 Homestead leads over the number 1 ranked team in the state and a team that has possession of John Harrell's imaginary traveling trophy. Lawrence North set to inbound the full court. Homestead not pressing. Looks like the Spartans in a man-to-man defense, while Lawrence North, they've been in a zone defense so far this first quarter. 13-10 Homestead, 54 seconds to go in the first. Young drives in for Lawrence North, kicks it back out. Irvin, another 3, the right corner, that's no good. Tipped around. Austin finally recovers for the Spartans, gives it off to Sullivan, who loses it, but recovers. Homestead up by 3, 13-10, 40 seconds to go in the first. Austin, deep 2-pointer, it's no good. Rebound back to Lawrence North. Young on the other end for the Wildcats. They trail by 3, 33 seconds to go in the first. Young drives in, spin move on Sullivan. Fadeaway shot, in and out. Hung on the rim for a second. Graber the rebound for the Spartans. Homestead looking to take maybe the last shot of this quarter. 21 seconds. Homestead up 13-10 over the number 1 ranked team in the state, Lawrence North. Graber, wide open 3, left corner. That's no good. Rebound goes to the Lawrence North Wildcats. A chance to take one last shot. 11 seconds to go. Homestead up 13-10. Young slowly dribbles up the court. Down to 7 seconds. Young gets a screen from Hughes. Drives in, puts up a shot underneath the rim, and it's no good. And the buzzer will sound after the first quarter. Homestead up 13-10 over Lawrence North. A very good quarter for the Homestead Spartans. They were up by 6 at one point, but Lawrence North hit a 3, but it's been a very exciting first quarter so far.
Yeah, this is pretty much what we expected. We expected this game to be close in the first quarter, unlike most Homestead games. But unlike also most Homestead games that are close in the first quarter, this should be close for the rest of the way, as Lawrence North started off doing quite well. Irvin had 6 points, while Sydney Graber on the other end had 7. They both are helping to lead their teams to a strong start.
Sydney Graber came into this game with 989 career points scored. She needed 11 to hit 1,000. She has 7, so only 4 more points, and she's going to break the 1,000-point mark. We saw recently in boys basketball, Dylan Duff break that mark for the Snyder Panthers. Right now, Homestead up 13-10, 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. And Anna Patterson, she looked good early on, scoring a basket early, but this Lawrence North defense, they're playing well. Both these teams average about the same. Lawrence North 60.2 points a game, Homestead 59.1. Homestead 14-1 on the season, number 5 ranked team in the state. Lawrence North number 1 overall, 19-0. But Homestead, they're 4-0 against Lawrence North since they started playing when Homestead joined the SAC in 2015-16. So even though Homestead, the underdog in the rankings, they could be considered a favorite just based on the success they've had against this program in the past. To start the second quarter, Lawrence North ball, Irvin beyond the arc, throws it over for Gunn, fires, and it's not good. Rebound goes to Patterson for the Spartans. Homestead up 13-10. And across the timeline, picks up a dribble, looks, finds Sullivan. 7:38 to go in the second. Homestead up 13-10. Patterson now drives right side, double teamed. Cross-court pass to Sullivan over to wide open Parker. Too late to take the 3. Finds Patterson underneath the basket. Stripped away by Lawrence North on the other end. Patterson wasn't able to go up strong with the Lawrence North, a chance to tie on this possession. Young with the ball for the Wildcats, undefeated on the season. Gives it over to Davidson on the left corner. Calls for a screen. Now finds Graves. stolen away by the Spartans. That was Amber Austin. Sullivan now has it for Homestead. They lead by 3, 13-10, 7 minutes to go in the second. Grace Sullivan for the Spartans, still with it. She finds Sydney Graber, who's 4 away from hitting 1,000 points in her career. Back to Sullivan. A wide open Amber Austin on the baseline, puts up a shot. She called a travel on Amber Austin. Anaya Graves checks in for Lawrence North, along with Jayla Smith. 13-10 Homestead, 6:49 to go in the second quarter. It's been a good game so far. Spartans led by as many as 6. Lawrence North with the ball now. Smith has it on the right side, who just checked in, back out to Young, someone that averages 12 points a game. Fakes the shot, drives in, and it's stolen away by Patterson. Homestead has it. They lead 13-10, 6.5 to go in the second. Patterson finds Graber underneath the basket, puts up a shot, no good, and rebound. Graber gets her own rebound somehow. Its ball is on the ground. Patterson dives forward, eventually recovered by Davidson for Lawrence North. They trail by 3, 6:18 to go in the second quarter. Davidson lost the ball, eventually recovered by Gunn. Now to Davidson, thought about the 3, guarded by Patterson, stolen by the Spartans, and Lawrence North recovers it now. Smith has it, top of the key, takes a 3 to tie, no good. Rebound goes to Amber Austin. Looks like over the back foul called against the Lady Wildcats. That was on Katie Davidson. That was the team's 3rd. Homestead up 13-10. No one has scored yet this quarter. 6:02 to go before halftime. Spartans ball. Sullivan takes it across half court over Graber on the left side. Sullivan now top of the key. Passes to Amber Austin at the free throw line, out to Parker. Homestead up by 3 and with the ball. Bounce pass to Graber beyond the arc on the left side. Patterson now with it. The free throw line takes a deep 2-pointer and sinks it. Ayanna Patterson now with 5 points for Homestead. They lead by 5, 15-10, 5:31 to go in the second quarter. Christian Young gives it off to Smith on the right side. Top of the key now for Gunn. Cross-court pass in the left corner to Graves. And it looks like jump ball called. And going to Homestead, 15-10. Spartans lead 5:21 to go in the second quarter. The Homestead ball in the full court. Lawrence North trying to press. Sullivan with the ball for the Spartans. They lead 15-10. Gets it across half court. Back to Sullivan. Bounce pass to Patterson down low. And let's see what they call. Referees differing. A jump ball called. I think one ref called a travel, one ref called a jump ball. But Homestead, they won't get the ball either way. 15-10 Lawrence North trails 15-10. 5:08 to go in the second quarter. Young with it for the Wildcats, #1 ranked team in the state. Guarded by Sullivan, beyond the arc, right side. Davidson, a 3. That's no good, too strong. Rebound goes to Sullivan for the Spartans. Outlet pass to Graber on the other end. In the paint, spin move, puts up a shot. Gets her own rebound. Shot is no good, but she's fouled. So Sydney Graber, 4 points away from hitting 1,000 in her career. Foul was on Anaya Graves, her first. So Sydney Graber, she has 5, or she has 7 rather. Patterson has 5 for the Spartans. Graber at the line for 2. First free throw is good. Rolls in. Graber now is 8. 3 points away from 1,000. 16-10 Homestead, 4:52 to go in the second quarter. Spartans against Lawrence North. #5 Homestead, #1 Lawrence North. Graber's second free throw is no good. Bounces out and knocked out of bounds by Amber Austin. It'll be going to Lawrence North. They trail by 6. 16-10 Homestead, 4:50 to go in the second quarter. One loss combined between these teams, but in state, these teams haven't lost. Lawrence North on offense. Young, crossover move on Sullivan, gives it out to Davidson now. They trail by 6. Homestead on defense. Williams feeds it out to Gunn. Fires once again. That's way off. Rebound goes to Patterson for the Spartans. Crosses the timeline on the right side. Homestead up 16-10, 4:23 to go. Before halftime, Graber in the left corner. Back to Parker. Bounce pass to Austin, over to Patterson in the paint. Puts up a shot. No good. Rebound tipped around. Patterson gets her own board. Shot is also no good by Patterson. Amber Austin gets the offensive rebound. Parker, a deep 3. In and out. Graber gets the offensive rebound again. She puts up a shot. That's no good. Gets her own offensive rebound again. And Lawrence North cannot buy a rebound right now. Homestead, they were out-rebounded by 19 last night against Southside, but dominated the boards in the second quarter, and a foul called against Lauren Gunn. So let's see. Looks like on the sideline, not a shooting foul is what it appears. Lawrence North 5 team fouls, Homestead only 1. 16-10 Spartans, 4:01 to go in the second. Sullivan set to inbound for the Spartans. Gets it into Patterson on the left baseline. She's double team, finds Graber, puts up a shot underneath the basket. It's good. Sydney Graber scores. She has 10. She's 1 point away from hitting 1,000 in her career. Homestead up 18-10, 3:49 to go in the second quarter. Young with it for the Lady Wildcats in the right corner for Irvin. Lawrence North only 3 points in this quarter. Young has it top of the key. Drives left side, puts up a shot. Foul is called, but they say it's on the floor. Actually, I was wrong. Lawrence North has not scored this quarter. It was 13-10 after one. Homestead there only put up 5 points, but their defense dominating. Davidson set to inbound for the Wildcats. They trail by 8 to Homestead. Smith has top of the key, drives in the paint, fadeaway jump shot. That's no good. Rebound goes to Patterson for the Spartans. Homestead up 8 and with the ball on the attack, and it's stolen right away by Kristen Young. Lawrence North now on the attack. She does a spin move, kicks it out to a wide open Williams for 3. That's no good. Rebound goes to Amber Austin for the Spartans. Homestead up 18-10, 3:12 to go before halftime. Sullivan. Graber needing 1 basket to pass 1,000 in her career. Graber spin move, puts up a shot, it's rejected, goes out of bounds. Actually, she saves it before it goes out of bounds. Graber, another shot, that's a block, but a foul is called. So Graber just needing 1 free throw to hit 1,000. Foul going against Jayla Smith, her first. Graber with 999 career points. At the free throw line, just needs 1 to hit 1,000. 18-10 Homestead. First free throw, no good. 3:02 to go in the second, so Graber just needs this 1 to hit 1,000. Spartans up 8. Lawrence North shut out this quarter. And Graber's free throw, that's no good, so Graber 0-2 at the line right there, not able to hit the 1,000-point mark in her career. Lawrence North grabs the rebound. Other end is Jayla Smith, who gives it off to Williams, back to Young, top of the key. Homestead 18-10 over Lawrence North, 2:50 to go before halftime. Number 5 Homestead, number 1 Lawrence North. 1 loss between these teams. Young falls down, but able to save it and gives it to Irvin. Beyond the arc, calls for a screen. Lawrence North, they look frustrated out there right now, not able to do anything. Young, top of the key for the Wildcats. Wants to feed the post, eventually gets it to Davidson, knocked out of bounds, going to Homestead. And Kinsley checks in, I believe, the first sub of this game for the Spartans as Amber Austin out. Last night, no one scored off the bench for Homestead. All starters scored all 56 points against Southside that win. 18-10 Homestead, 2:24 to go in the second. Sullivan gives it to Graber. Lawrence North in a full court press. Homestead still hasn't gotten across. Finally gets it across. Sullivan on the left side now. Drives in, picks up her dribble, bounce pass out to a wide open Parker for 3. Sinks in. Riley Parker knocks down another 3. She has 6 points. Homestead up by 11, 21-10, 2:03 to go in the second quarter. This is the number 1 team in the state, trailing by 11 to number 5 Homestead. 1:53 to go in the second. Smith gives it over to Davidson. Now Irvin on the right side. 1:45 to go before halftime. Ball knocked out of bounds by Riley Parker. 21-10 Homestead, 1:43 to go in the second quarter. Sydney Graber with 10 points for the Spartans. Parker with 6 and Patterson with 5. Full timeout called by head coach Chris Giffen by Lawrence North. He's a very good coach, won 85% of his games in his 8th season at Lawrence North. This is the team that lost to Hamilton Southeastern in the state championship a season ago and find themselves trailing by the same amount, 11 points to Homestead right now.
Yeah, he's not a common loser, but right now, when you're down 11, you have got to just start getting your team riled up. I mean, Lawrence North, number 1 in the state in 4A, they have got to be thinking about having to keep that going. And I guess number 5, Homestead, right now, they're just having a lot of trouble on offense, haven't scored all quarter. He's got to get his team riled up.
I think a good goal for this Homestead defense. There's 1:43 to go before halftime. Just don't give up a big run. Maybe 1 basket or 2 is fine. But if you're the Spartans, you're up by 11. Being up by even, 6 or 7 is good, but you just don't want to give up a huge run to end the second quarter. All it takes is a few silly fouls or baskets, and Lawrence North is right back in. This is the team that averages 60.2 points per game. They have 10 right now, and it's almost halftime. Homestead's offense not scoring the most either, but against a very good defense. These two teams are no doubt two of the best 5 teams in the state. There's an argument you can make. These are both top 3 teams in the state. 21-10, Homestead over Lawrence North, 1:43 to go in the second quarter. Lawrence North ball. Young with it. For the Wildcats, they trail 11. 1:36 to go before halftime. Young still beyond the arc, hands it off to Irvin. That's Kalen. Back to Young, right side for Davidson in the right corner, guarded by Kinsley, who just checked in for the Spartans. Shot is good, so the streak finally ends of being scoreless. Katie Davidson knocks down the bucket for Lawrence North. Is 21-12 Spartans. Stock now in the game for the Spartans. Patterson, other end, stolen away by Lawrence North. They have a chance to add another basket right here. Smith puts up a shot. It's no good. Davidson, the offensive rebound. It's up and in. So Katie Davidson, a quick 4 points for her just like that. It's now 21-14, 57 seconds to go in the second quarter. Spartans are trapped in the full court, eventually get it across. Parker out to Kinsley. Thought about the 3, doesn't take it. 45 seconds to go in the second. Homestead up 21-14. Was an 11-point lead just moments ago. Stock with it for the Spartans. Finds Patterson, deep 2-pointer. It's no good. Tipped around. Recovered by Christian Young for Lawrence North. Under 30 seconds to go before halftime. 21-14 Homestead. Davidson, right corner 3. That's no good. Would have been huge for the Wildcats, but Spartans the rebound. Ankenbrook yelling out, no rush for the Spartans. They can wait. Graber with the ball in her hands, needing a basket to pass 1,000. Shot is no good, but she's fouled. So Graber will have 2 more tries to pass, or I should say to hit the 1,000-point mark. Foul was on Katie Davidson. Bit interesting. Homestead only 2 team fouls. Lawrence North 7. This first half, 21-14 Homestead, 11.4 seconds to go before halftime. Graber to hit 1,000. It's good. Sydney Graber hits the 1,000-point mark in her career. She has 11. It's now 22-14, 11.4 seconds to go in the second quarter. Spartans playing well against the top team in the state. Graber's second is also good. She has 12. The team's 23. This first half, Lawrence North looking for the last shot. They trailed 23-14, 7 seconds to go. Young drives in, spin move on Parker, puts up a shot. Foul on the floor, so no shot. Foul going against Riley Parker. That's only her first. Kinsley back in the game for the Spartans. 23-14 Homestead, 4.2 seconds to go before halftime. Inbound goes to Smith, takes a 3, right corner. That's way off and at the buzzer. Homestead leads 23-14 over Lawrence North. That was a good quarter for the Homestead defense. They led 13-10 after the first quarter. Now scored Lawrence North 10-4 in that second quarter. And so far it's been a very solid performance from this Homestead team all around.
Yeah, I mean, Lawrence North's offense just hasn't been able to respond to how aggressive Homestead's defense has been playing so far. Really, both of them have been playing very aggressively, but it seems to be Homestead that's doing all of the dirty work, getting all of the jump balls, forcing a couple turnovers in that first half. They had some turnovers themselves, though, at 6. Patterson had 3, so that's really the only issue that Homestead has so far is that turnovers.
Yeah, a few turnovers. Once again, Sydney Graber passes the 1,000-point mark in her career, as she had 12 points in the first half, now 1,001 points. The star senior for Homestead, and as a team, the Spartans are up 23-14 at halftime over the #1 Lawrence North Lady Wildcats, but this one definitely not over yet. Lawrence North, they just haven't been able to knock down shots. They're a very good team, #1, and unbeaten for a reason, and that will take us to our first break at halftime, as once again Homestead leading 23-14 over the #1 ranked team in the state, Lawrence North. And when we come back, we'll take a look at the leading scores for each team along with what each team needs to do differently in the second half. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Homestead Spartan basketball, the Point 91 FM.
This hour on the Point 91 FM is brought to you by
Arby's at Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zesto's. Arby's is more than roast beef with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's at Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arbys.com.
Casa Italian Restaurants, with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road. Featuring Fort Wayne's famous Casa Burro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Online at CasaRestaurants.com. Follow Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT Sports Broadcast.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
Moe's Southwest Grill, located at 6739 West Jefferson Boulevard next to Dunkin' Donuts Baskin-Robbins. You can contact Moe's by dialing 969-MOE's, or for catering, that number is 969-EATS. Moe's specializes in southwestern food like burritos, tacos, and nachos with no microwaves or freezers. You can contact Moe's online at moes.com. Thank you, Moe's, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
The Point is WCYT Lafayette Township, Fort Wayne, a broadcast service of Homestead High School, 91.1 FM and online at WCYT.org. The Point 91 FM, where music is the point.
Arby's at Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zesto's. Arby's is more than roast beef, with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, and chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's at Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arbys.com.
Arby's at Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zesto's. Arby's is more than roast beef with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's at Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arbys.com.
Casa Italian Restaurants, with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road. Featuring Fort Wayne's famous Casa Burro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Online at CasaRestaurants.com. Follow Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT Sports Broadcast.
Casa Italian Restaurants, family owned and operated since 1977, with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road. Featuring the Casa Burro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Find more information at CasaRestaurants.com or by following Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT Sports Broadcasts.
And now, let's head back out to the gymnasium for more Homestead Lady Spartan basketball right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School. We're about 5 minutes or so away from the start of the second half between the number 1 ranked team in the state, the Lawrence North Lady Wildcats, and the number 5 ranked Homestead Lady Spartans. Both these teams have a chance to meet up in the state championship game, as Lawrence North made it there last season, Homestead losing to HSC and regionals, who would go on to win the state championship. And right now, Homestead up 23-14 at halftime, and by no means is this game over. The Spartans led 13-10 after the first quarter, outscored Lawrence North 10-4 in the second, and find themselves leading, like I said, 23-14, a 9-point advantage for the Spartans. And something of note, Sydney Graber, she passes the 1,000-point mark in her career. Came into today with 989 total career points scored. She has 12 in the first half, so 1,001 points for the star senior. Nice moment for her to pass that mark. And let's look at some scoring leaders for each team. Riley Parker, she has 6 for the Spartans. Sydney Graber's 12, and Ayanna Patterson with 5. No one else has scored. Once again, no Sullivan or Amber Austin has scored. No one off the bench has scored for Homestead, although the bench players didn't get a ton of playing time. The starters played nearly the entire first half. And for Lawrence North, Christian Young has 2 points. Kaylin Irvin has 6. Katie Davidson has 4. And Lauren Gunn has 2. No one's really in foul trouble. I guess Lauren Gunn, she has 2 fouls for Lawrence North. And Nia Graves, she has 1. I guess Katie Davidson has 2. Kaylin Irvin has 1. No one with more than 1 personal foul for the Spartans. They only had 2 in the first half. Sullivan had 1, and Parker had 1. And now looking at this second half, obviously both teams are going to make some more adjustments. And early on, it looked like that zone defense was working well for Lawrence North, but then they kind of collapsed, and Homestead, they were able to do their thing and put up a ton of points.
Yeah, the zone defense was looking great. I mean, they were playing incredibly aggressively. We saw in the first quarter there were a lot of jump balls, and they forced 6 turnovers in the first half. They looked quite impressive, but once the second quarter came rolling around, they had the same exact really good defensive output, but their offense just did not catch up. I believe it was for the first maybe 6 or 7 minutes. They did not score a single bucket in that second quarter. It's just been a huge struggle for Lawrence North's offense. If they can catch up with the defense, they could be right back into this ballgame.
Yeah, 9 points. Doesn't really seem like a lot right now, considering Lawrence North, number 1 ranked team in the state. They average 60.2 points per game on the season. They have 14 at halftime. Homestead up by 9, and we're about 2.5 minutes or so away from the start of the third quarter, so we'll take one final break of this halftime show. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Homestead Lady Spartan Basketball, the Point 91 FM.
Homestead athletic coverage on the Point 91 FM is brought to you by
Arby's at Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zesto's. Arby's is more than roast beef, with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, and chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's at Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arbys.com.
Casa Italian Restaurants, with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road. Featuring Fort Wayne's famous Casa Burro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Online at CasaRestaurants.com. Follow Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT Sports Broadcasts.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
Moe's Southwest Grill, located at 6739 West Jefferson Boulevard, next to Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin-Robbins. You can contact Moe's by calling 969-MOE's, or for catering, that number is 969-EATS. Moe's specializes in southwestern foods like burritos, tacos, and nachos with no microwaves or freezers. You can visit Moe's online at moes.com. Thank you, Moe's, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead athletic coverage on our station.
And now, let's head back out to the gymnasium for more Homestead Lady Spartan basketball right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School. We get set for the third quarter between Homestead and Lawrence North. This is a big-time matchup, but more importantly, John Harrell's traveling trophy on the line. Lawrence North, they've had it since the last game of last year's regular season. So if Homestead's able to beat Lawrence North, it's obviously a big win, beating the number 1 ranked team in the state, but then they have a traveling trophy, which is probably almost equally as good as the state championship.
Oh, yeah. If I played girls basketball, I would covet that thing like crazy. I mean, this is really just, it's even a de facto regular season championship for who's the best team of the 4A regular season. So this is just a huge game, and right now Homestead's got to be happy that they have the lead.
I'm also very happy they have the lead right now. When Homestead beat Blackhawk Christian and boys last year, that were the best 2 weeks of my life. when Homestead held that traveling trophy. Now they have a chance to take it from Lawrence North starting the third quarter. Homestead up 23-14, 7:54 to go in the third. Patterson finds Graber, 1,001 points scored in her career now after 12 in the first half. Graber on the left side, over to Sullivan now, beyond the arc, picks up her dribble. All starters out there for the Spartans. Patterson still beyond the arc, back to Sullivan. Homestead appears to be in no rush, finds Austin down low, puts up a shot, and it rolls in. Amber Austin, her first points of the day. It's now 25-14, Homestead over Lawrence North, 7:25 to go in the third quarter. Other end, Young has it for the Wildcats. Right side for Davidson, beyond the arc. Drives in on Parker, floater, off the front of the rim and in. Katie Davidson with 6 now for Lawrence North. They cut it to a 9-point game, 25-16. 7:06 to go in the third quarter. Right now, battle perfect squares. Spartans up by 9. Sullivan to the timeline. Bounce pass to Amber Austin, who just knocked down a shot. Wide open Graber left side for 3. That's no good. Gets her own rebound. Loses it and stolen away by Lawrence North. Davidson on the other end for the Wildcats. They trail by 9. And that's Smith who has it. Feeds to Davidson. Shot off the back of the iron. Rebound goes to the Spartans. Sullivan on the other end for Homestead. They lead 25-16. 6:35 to go in the third quarter. Parker with the ball for Homestead. 1 loss combined between these teams. Lawrence North number 1, Homestead number 5. That is in the media poll. Graber at the free throw line out to Sullivan. Homestead, they don't appear to be much of a rush. Why would you be when you're leading by 9? Austin finds Patterson, but it's knocked away. Still, and finally Lawrence North recovers it. A crazy sequence right there. Young on the other end for the Wildcats. Step back move on Sullivan. Now takes it back out. 25-16 Homestead, 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Young drives in on Sullivan now. Takes it back out to Smith. Takes a deep 3, and she drains it. Jayla Smith with their first basket of the game. It's now 25-19, a 6-point game. 5:47 to go in the third quarter. Austin on the left side for the Spartans. Out to Sullivan, now finds Graber. It sails overhead and goes out of bounds. A turnover on the Spartans. It's a 6-point game and a bit of momentum with Lawrence North. They have the ball. Trailing 25-19 now. 5:37 to go in the third quarter. Young takes it up the court. Now to Davidson, top of the key, right side for Williams. Finds Davidson right baseline. Loses it, knocked away, but still recovers it. Deep 2-pointer for Davidson, no good. Rebound goes to Sydney Graber for the Spartans. Homestead has it. They lead 25-19. 5:15 to go in the third quarter. Spartans not really in a rush, it appears at all, to take any shot this quarter. Graber double teamed, ball knocked away. It's on the ground. Maybe another jump ball situation, that's what it is. And possession goes to Lawrence North. So in a sense, a turnover on the Spartans, they give it away. Lawrence North a chance to make it a 1-possession game. They trail 25-19, 5:03 to go in the third quarter. So far, Lawrence North looking like the better team in this third quarter. Young, top of the key, drives in on Sullivan, takes it back out for Gunn. Guarded by Amber Austin. Wildcats on offense. Now to Williams. Smith has it, fakes a 3. Step back 3 on Patterson. It's no good. Rebound goes to Graber for the Spartans. They lead 25-19. 4:39 to go in the third quarter. Sullivan with it for the Spartans. They lead by 6. Nearly 4.5. Graber's shot is stripped, and Patterson the offensive rebound and scores. Again to Patterson. She now has 7. Homestead's lead back to 8. 27-19, 4:23 to go in the third quarter. Smith has it on the right side. Dribbles now, hands it off to her teammate Young. Takes a deep 3-pointer, that's an air ball. And Graber gets the rebound for the Spartans. They lead 27-19, 4:10 to go in the third quarter. Graber with it on the left side, back to Sullivan. Tosses it over to Parker, bounce pass to Patterson. Lost it, recovers it. Out to Sullivan, top of the key. Takes a 3-pointer, and she drains it. Grace Sullivan knocks down her first basket of the game. Only shoots 38% from 3 on the season. Knocks one down there. Homestead's lead back to 11, 30-19. 3:46 to go in the third quarter. Traveling trophy on the line. Number 1 Lawrence North against number 5 Homestead. And a travel called on Lawrence North. Just when it seemed like Lawrence North had a bit of momentum, Homestead, they extend their lead back to 11 points. 30-19, 3:39 to go in the third quarter. I'm Matt Sullivan alongside Braden Carroll. We saw Homestead play last night against Southside, win a close one, 56-49. They're playing Lawrence North today, number 1 ranked team in the state. Spartans on offense, Sullivan. Another three, that's no good. And the rebound goes to Lawrence North and a foul on Sydney Graber, it looks like. A reach-in. Let's see, that was only her first. The team's first, no fouls called on Lawrence North yet this quarter. 30-19 Homestead, 3:19 to go in the third quarter. Very low scoring game. Smith in the left corner takes a deep three-pointer. It's way off, and the rebound goes to the Spartans. Sullivan finds Patterson in the paint, loses it, puts up a shot, and it's good. Patterson nearly lost it, but recovered at the last second. She now has 9. Homestead's lead to 13 points. 32-19, 2:59 to go in the third quarter. On the right side now for Hughes, who just checked in. Out to Irvin, takes a three, in and out. And it's going the other way. If you're Lawrence North, I know they're used to hitting a lot of threes, but they're not falling. Maybe try to go inside a bit. Feels like they're taking a lot of outside shots that have just been rushed. Homestead ball in the full court. Full court press by Lawrence North. Homestead up 32-19 over the number 1 team in the state. Patterson on the other end for the Spartans. Fadeaway jump shot. Hoping to draw a foul, nothing there. Patterson limping now for the Spartans. Lawrence North on the other end. Davidson has it, takes a 2-pointer, and she drains it. Katie Davidson looking like Frankie Davidson on Blackhawk Christian last year with that jump shot. Lawrence North cuts it to 11. Spartans ball. 2:25 to go in the third quarter. Looks like maybe Patterson landed awkwardly on her ankle or something. Still in the game right now for the Spartans. 32-21. Homestead. 2:25 to go in the third quarter. Homestead ball as Anaya Graves in for Jayla Smith. Homestead ball. They lead by 11. 2:22 to go in the third quarter. Patterson has it on the left side for the Spartans. Back to Sullivan, who has 3 points, just knocked down a three a few minutes ago. The junior point guard, fancy crossover move, picks up a dribble. Out to Amber Austin on the right side, beyond the arc, bounce pass to Graber in the paint. Tries to back down her opponent, puts up a shot. It's no good, rolls off the glass, and Lawrence North the rebound. Davidson gets it off to Young, the point guard. They trail by 11. Three in the right corner by Irvin, that's no good. Another rush three by Lawrence North, and the rebound goes to the Spartans. Interim head coach Kara Ankerbrook says slow it down, no need to rush right here. 1:43 to go in the third quarter, no shot clock, so Homestead could hold for as long as they like. 32-21 Spartans. Number 5 Homestead over number 1 Lawrence North right now. 11-point lead for the Spartans. Sullivan has the ball for Homestead. Crossover move out to Graber. Wide open Parker in the left corner. Bullseye! Riley Parker drains the three. In Homestead, up by 14 over the number 1 team in the state. Young on the other end for the Wildcats. Out to Irvin, her own three, and she knocked it down. I had a feeling that one was going to go in. A crowd silencer by Kaylin Irvin, and timeout called by Lawrence North. That's a big shot right there by Kaylin Irvin. She has 9. After Parker knocked down that three for the Spartans, put them up by 14. Kaylin Irvin able to knock down a three, cut the lead to 11. 1:09 to go in the third quarter, and the Spartans, they've been dominant so far in this one, but it feels like Lawrence North just a few shots away from coming back on this one.
Yeah, I mean, their offense was pretty much held to a standstill in that first half. Now they're starting to shoot a lot more, again, some shots down, but like you've been saying throughout this entire third quarter, they're rushing a lot of those three-pointers that they could be hitting easily. A lot of wide-open corner threes. Just, it seems like they rush it before they even have to take the shot. And a lot of them have sadly been just hitting the backboard, hitting the rim. It's, I mean, they could be in a tie game or barely behind Homestead if they could just hit those shots.
Think of Homestead against North Central 2 Fridays ago when Homestead, they hit 10 of 12 threes in the first half, except Lawrence North, they're missing pretty much every three, given Kaylin Irvin just did knock down one a few moments ago. But Homestead out of timeout, 35-24 they lead. 1:09 to go in the third quarter. This one by far not over. Even if Homestead had a 20-point lead at the end of 3, Lawrence North, they're number 1 in the state for a reason. They've come back a lot of times. This season undefeated, 19-0, 5-0, first in the Metropolitan, one of the best conferences in the state. Under a minute to go in the third quarter, Spartans ball. Sullivan has it. Over to Patterson now on the right side. Homestead up 35-24, 50 seconds to go. You think Homestead may hold for the final shot. Sullivan out to Patterson. Still beyond the arc. Patterson drives right side out to Amber Austin in the right corner. Down to 37 seconds to go in the third quarter. Graber with the ball for the Spartans. Dribbles back out beyond the arc. Sullivan out to Patterson at the free throw line. Down to 25 seconds to go. And a bench warning, and rightfully so called, on Lawrence North. Some of the coaching staff a bit too wild.
Yeah, they were counting out the seconds that a Homestead player was inside of the restricted area. Seemed like a lot of anger was coming from that bench.
Definitely was not head coach Chris Giffen. There was a calm look on his face right now. Some of the other coaching staff. 35-24, Homestead up, 25.5 seconds to go in the third quarter. Spartans ball. Sullivan set to inbound. Underneath their own basket. Austin puts up a shot off glass. It's good. Amber Austin, her second basket of the game. She has 4. Homestead up by 13. 18 seconds to go in the third quarter. 37-24, Spartans lead. Lawrence North ball. Young dribbles for the Wildcats. Gets a screen. Drives left side. Kicks it back out for Hughes. Takes a shot. No good. And the rebound goes to the Spartans. 2 seconds, 1 second. And Sullivan doesn't get a shot off at the third quarter buzzer. So Homestead, they lead 37-24 against Lawrence North. 13-point lead, definitely not safe. They led by 9 at halftime, and I still don't feel too comfortable about this right now. This Lawrence North team, very good. Homestead obviously playing much better right now, but if some of those threes start falling for Lawrence North, this one could get a lot closer.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only reason Homestead has this lead is because of that second quarter where Lawrence North just went completely dark shooting. Like that third quarter, it almost looked exactly like the first quarter where both teams were doing relatively well, and it was a close game if you look at just the third quarter. That second quarter just seems to have laid a curse on the Wildcats. Hopefully in the fourth quarter they can maybe shrink the deficit, make this an interesting game.
Yeah, after the first quarter it was 13-10 Homestead. Spartans outscored Lawrence North 10-4. In the second had a 23-14 lead at half. Then in that third quarter, Homestead outscored Lawrence North 14-10 and now lead 37-24. So the Spartans have been dominant so far, and still 8 minutes on the clock, plenty of time to go. Both teams only have 1 team foul, so probably won't be seeing a lot of free throws, at least early on in this fourth quarter. Lawrence North averaged 60 points per game. They're at 24 right now through 3 quarters. Homestead number 5 on the season, number 5 ranked team in the state. Lawrence North number 1 ranked team in the state, along with John Harrell's traveling trophy on the line. Graber with the ball for the Spartans to open the fourth quarter. Sullivan in the left corner. Had a wide open 3. Looks like Lawrence North daring her to shoot it. Doesn't take it though. Back out to Sullivan. Calls out a play at the Spartan logo. Drives the right side. Screen by Parker. Bounce pass to Amber Austin in the paint. Hook shot. It's in. Nice shot by Amber Austin. She has 6 points. Homestead up by 15 now. 39-24. Davidson with the ball for the Wildcats. Young now has a Homestead up 39-24. 15-point lead for the Spartans. 7:22 to go in the fourth. Ball on the ground. Recovered by Lawrence North at the Spartan logo. This team is dangerous shooting the 3 ball. Haven't knocked down too many so far. Young drives left baseline. And a jump ball. I think that's a good call right there. Looks like Young just drove in hoping to draw a foul. And instead of the jump ball called, looks like it'll be staying with Lawrence North. 39-24 Homestead. 7:12 to go in the fourth quarter. Davidson gets the inbound to Young, who has only 2 points in this one. Usually averages 12. There's the 5'5" senior. Davidson now in the left side. Wildcats down by 15. 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Davidson spin move on Parker. Kicks it out for a wide open Smith, and she knocks down the 3. Nice shot by Jayla Smith. She now has 6. It's now a 12-point game. Homestead on the other end, 39-27 they lead. Amber Austin with the ball. Out to Sullivan on the left side beyond the arc. 6:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Homestead, they've controlled this entire game. But Lawrence North, they've cut the leads at 12. Spartans, they can hold for pretty much the entire quarter if they wanted to. Homestead 14-1 on the season, coming off a win over Southside last night. Sullivan falls down, stolen away. Graber recovers for the Spartans. Nearly a turnover. Graber hands it out to Sullivan at the Spartan logo. Down to 6:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Graber at the top of the key. Parker right side drives baseline, double teamed out to Amber Austin now for the Spartans. 6:08 to go in the fourth quarter. Sullivan at the Spartan logo over to Graber, left corner. 39-27 is his score. Homestead up by 12. Spartans have led pretty much the entire game. Patterson free throw line for the Spartans. They lead by 12 and have the ball. Homestead really wasting a lot of time. Guess you could say they're pulling a real Northrop right here. Parker with the ball for the Spartans. And finally a foul on the floor, but only the team's second for Lawrence North. Kaylin Irvin her second. Looks like Lauren Gunn back in the lineup. She's a very explosive player, could score at any time for the Wildcats. 39-27. Homestead up, 5:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Number 5 leading number 1 right now. Graber with the ball for the Spartans, finds Sullivan. Right now it's keep away for the Spartans. Wasting a lot of time, and rightfully so. The smart move with no shot clock in Indiana. Graber finally drives in, now takes it back out to Amber Austin, finds Patterson deep inside the paint, and a foul on the floor again. That'll be Lawrence North's only third. No shot, they call. That's Kaylin Irvin, that's her third. So the team's best player in this game, Kaylin Irvin, who has 9 points, she has to come out of the game. Spartans ball underneath their own basket. They lead 39-27, 5:19 to go in the fourth quarter. Sullivan gets it into Patterson, lobs it in. Patterson shot underneath the basket, no good. Ball tipped around. Lawrence North finally possession. It's been a while. They trail by 12, 5:12 to go in the fourth quarter. Smith has it guarded by Patterson. This is where the Homestead defense needs to step up, make a few big plays. Graber, shot by Smith, that's way off, that was a 3, and the rebound goes to the Spartans. They lead 39-27, 4:55 to go in the fourth quarter. Sullivan with the ball for the Spartans. 12-point advantage right now, 4:49 to go in the fourth quarter. Homestead, they're gonna be needing a basket soon, you think. Haven't really attempted shooting the ball past few minutes, and it's stolen away. Young on the other end, a wide open layup. And she lays it in, and it's no good. She missed a wide open layup, and Parker's fouled. And Young just blew that. A wide open layup. And some more coaches screaming now at the refs from the Lawrence North sideline. Riley Parker was tripped up. Officials talking at center court right now. I think that should be, it's a reach and foul on Lawrence North. Let's see what they end up calling. Just a personal foul on Christian Young. I think that's the right call. That's their first and the team's fourth. No technical foul. I mean, I would have been all right if they would have called that, but personal foul is all right too. Homestead ball once again. 39-27, 4.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Graber has it on the right side back to Sullivan. Homestead playing keep away once again, just wasting a lot of clock. It looks like timeout called by Homestead, 30-second timeout. And not a lot of action in this fourth quarter. A lot of holding the ball, trying to keep it away from the other team. But Lawrence North down by 12, 4:22 to go in the fourth quarter. Only, 4 3-pointers, and they're back in this one.
Yeah, there wasn't much interesting going on in the fourth quarter so far, but that last sequence was kind of interesting to watch. I'm a little surprised they didn't call a technical foul there. I mean, I understand why they didn't. You know, you probably don't want to bring a ton of tension into a game that will soon be over if there's not a huge comeback. Overall, though, I think that Homestead has this one in the bag. All they have to do is just keep playing the way they have been.
You better hope they win this one, because if they don't, I'm coming at you for that comment right there. But 12 points, 4:22 left in the fourth quarter. I mean, you think that's going to be enough, but you never know. If Homestead if they do their job and just don't give up any easy turnovers. Like I said, no shot clock in Indiana. Homestead could just hold it. They've scored 2 points in this quarter. Lawrence North has scored 3, but not a whole lot of possessions for either team. The Spartans have held it for a majority of time, and Lawrence North a little bit aggressive now as Graber drives in for the Spartans. Homestead up by 12, 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Sullivan out to Parker. Only 4 team fouls on Lawrence North right now. Parker double teamed out to Graber now on the left side. She's double teamed. No foul called, and Graber was hit a few times, and foul's finally called. Foul on Lawrence North. Christian Young, her second, the team's fifth. So 2 more, and Homestead's in the single bonus, 1-1. 3:52 to go in the fourth quarter, 39-27. Homestead, and another foul on Christian Young, her third. Maybe it was a smart play right there. Didn't take any time off the clock, and now 6 team fouls. Homestead only 1 team foul. I believe only 3 team fouls in this entire game, which is a bit surprising. Over to Parker now on the right side. Homestead up by 12. 3:44 to go in the fourth quarter. Traveling trophy on the line in this game. This has the feels of a state championship matchup possibly later on in the season. Sullivan with the ball for the Spartans. Gives it over to Graber now on the left side. Homestead up 12. 3.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Parker has it for the Spartans. And double dribble called on Parker. That's a turnover I talked about, an unforced error right there for the Spartans. Gives an opportunity for Lawrence North back into this one. Have a chance to cut it to single digits. This team is so dangerous from beyond the arc. Young, you know she wants to take a 3. Out to Davidson. Drives in. Kick out. That was Gunn. Puts up a shot. No good. Rebound tipped around. And Amber Austin recovers it for the Spartans. Hands it off to Grace Sullivan. Homestead up by 12. 3:06 to go in the fourth quarter. 39-27. Interim head coach Carrie Ankerbrook is saying slow it down. Like they've been doing pretty much the whole fourth quarter. Only 2 points scored for Homestead, 3 for Lawrence North. 39-27. Sullivan drives in. 5-second call going against the Spartans. So back-to-back turnovers on Homestead. Lawrence North, they have their opportunities. 39-27. 2:52 to go in the fourth quarter. Lawrence North ball. Haven't hit a shot in what feels like a very long time. Smith on the right side. Gives it back out to Gunn beyond the arc. Now Smith, she takes a 3. Brick and Graber the rebound for Homestead. Coach Angenbrook says slow it down once again. Sullivan gets it across half court. 2.5 to go. Homestead up by 12. Parker thought about the wide open 3. And she's fouled. So Homestead now going to the free throw line. Riley Parker, a reliable free throw shooter. Just under 80% on the season, is the star senior going to Purdue Fort Wayne to play college basketball. 7th team foul, that was on Monica Williams. Riley Parker, this is a huge free throw right here. It's good. Riley Parker knocks down the free throw. She has 10. So Riley Parker, last 3 games, she has 27, 17, and 10 this afternoon against a very good team. And the other one is no good. It's a 13-point game, 2:23 to go in the fourth quarter. Lawrence North a chance. Young takes a 3 and drains it. Finally knocked one down. It's a 10-point game. This one not over yet. That was a much-needed shot right there for the Lady Wildcats. They're still alive in this one. It's 40-30, 2:17 to go in the fourth quarter. The Spartans, they've led the entire game pretty much by double digits. Lawrence North, they made a few runs, and Homestead, we saw them have 2 sloppy turnovers a few minutes ago, and if they have any more of those, Lawrence North, they're going to have a good shot at cutting this a little bit closer.
And speaking of playing sloppy, Lawrence North just foul after foul, it almost seems like. Christian Young, she had a span of 20 seconds where there were about 3 fouls, all called on her. It just seems like if they want to get back into this game, they're going to have to stop fouling, because that's really giving them a huge issue. It's bringing Homestead the ball over and over again, putting them on the free throw line where, unlike yesterday, they're being successful at.
Homestead up 40-30, a 10-point advantage for the Lady Spartans in what is the biggest game of their season so far. They're hosting the #1 ranked team in the state, the Lawrence North Lady Wildcats, who are 19-0 overall in the season. They're blowing out pretty much every Indy area team this season. They did have a close conference game Thursday, beat Pike 53-45. They're first in the Metropolitan. This team graduated only 1 senior from a season ago, so a lot of experience back. This team, the heavy favorite to represent the South in the state championship game in late February. Graber inbounds to Parker, back to Graber. 2:12 to go in the fourth quarter. Homestead needs to get across half court. Parker gives it to Amber Austin, other end. Austin puts up a shot and lays it in. Amber Austin, a huge bucket for the Spartans. She has 8. Homestead up 12. 2 minutes to go in the fourth. Williams with it. Gives it off to Young. And travel called against Lawrence North. Homestead ball. They lead by 12. And Lawrence North currently at half of their season average in points. They average 60.2 at 30 right now. 1:55 to go in the fourth quarter. Homestead up 42-30 on the verge of capturing the traveling trophy. And a turnover on the Spartans. Young has it for Lawrence North. Right side for Smith, a three. It's no good, and Graber gets the rebound for the Spartans. Sullivan now has it. 1:41 to go in the fourth quarter. Homestead up 12. Sullivan with the ball. Not across half court yet. Finally gets it across. Parker double teamed for Homestead. Spartans up 12. Foul going on the floor against Lawrence North. 1:31 to go in the fourth quarter. Spartans up 12. Nearly pulling off the biggest win of any team in the state this season. Beating the #1 team for the first time. And let's see who that foul was on. That was on Lauren Gunner, third. So she checks out. Kaylin Irvin back in with 3 personal fouls. Christian Young also has 3. Parker, free throw, it's good. Riley Parker. It's not out of the question to say she's been the most reliable scorer the past 3 games for the Spartans. Like I mentioned, 27 against North Central, 17 against Southside last night, and 11 right now. Another free throw for Parker, it's good. The senior knocks down both. A 14-point advantage for the Spartans against the #1 team in the state. Under 90 seconds to go in the fourth. A deep 3 by Young. That's way off. And Graber the rebound for the Spartans. Homestead up 44-30. Sullivan dribbles, bounce pass to Parker. Crosses the timeline. Parker falls down over to Patterson. Back to Amber Austin. Tipped away. And let's see if Patterson not able to save it, but it's going to Homestead still. Spartans up 44-30, 1:08 to go in the fourth quarter. If you would have told me that Homestead was going to go 3-0 against North Central, Southside, and Lawrence North, I would have not believed that. Homestead a great team, but those are some of the best teams to say. Parker puts a shot up. It's no good underneath the basket, and Patterson's shot. She was, looks like it was a jump ball call. A bit of a weird shot right there. But Homestead still the ball. Like I said, Homestead, a great team, but a very tough schedule, the toughest stretch of their schedule. And up by 14 right now. Graber gets the inbound from Sullivan. Homestead up 14 points, 1 minute to go in the fourth quarter. And now you have to think this one over, and Braden looks like you'll be right. Lawrence North will not come back in this one. How about this performance from the Lady Spartans today? What a game. Graber with it on the left side. Homestead up 14, 41 seconds to go before regulation ends. Parker out to Patterson. She's double teamed. Out to Amber Austin now. Sydney Graber, 30 seconds to go. Homestead up 44-30. They're going to take the traveling trophy. What a game. Sullivan dribbles out the clock now. 20 seconds to go. Lawrence North still playing some aggressive defense. And the Spartans just 13 seconds away from officially beating the #1 ranked team in the state. They're up 44-30, and Lawrence North is going to lose for the first time this season. Homestead wins it 44-30 over the Lady Wildcats. What a performance from Homestead today. They improved to 15-1 overall in the season, and more importantly, capture John Harrell's traveling trophy. I cannot believe this performance today from the Lady Spartans. Braden, what a great game.
Harrell's got to be crying tears of joy. The perfect team now has his trophy. And what a game by Homestead. They just played incredibly outside of maybe that first quarter. After that, they were just on fire. That second quarter really spelled the rest of the game where Lawrence North was just shut down on offense. And it's just an incredible game. One of the best regular season victories Homestead has ever had.
This is going to go down as probably the best win of the season. What a huge win for interim head coach Carrie Ankerbrook. 44-30, the Spartans win it. What a game we saw last night against Southside. Homestead win. There were 2 wedgies in that game. And today, the Spartans pick up the 14-point victory. Definitely did not see a 14-point victory coming. But who knows, Lawrence North will probably win the state championship because they have an easy path to the state finals. Once they get out of sectionals, they don't have a ton of competition. Meanwhile, Homestead, teams like HSE, Northwestern, Fishers Carmel, a lot of top teams, even Southside in sectionals. But what a win for this Homestead team, 44-30. And Braden, who would you say is your player of the game?
Well, my player of the game is going to be Sydney Graber, not only because she led the team in scoring, well, tied the lead in scoring with Riley Parker at 12 points, but she also passed that career milestone of 1,000 on her career as a senior. Incredible feat by Sydney Graber, an incredible game. Really helped her team to get the win.
And a quick recap of scoring by quarters. Homestead led 13-10 after the first quarter. In the second quarter, they outscored Lawrence North 10-4, had a 23-14 lead at half. Third quarter, Spartans outscored Lawrence North 10-14. They had a 37-24 lead after 3. Then in the final quarter, not a lot of scoring. They win outscored them 7-6 in that fourth quarter and hold on for the 44-30 win. And what a performance from this Homestead team. Just a great game. And let's take a look at some of the leading scores. Like you said, Sydney Graber and Riley Parker each with 12 points. Anna Patterson had 9. Amber Austin also had 9 points. Grace Sullivan had 3. No one off the bench scored for Homestead, but didn't matter. And for Lawrence North, Christian Young had 5. Kaylin Irvin had 9. Katie Davidson had 8. Lauren Gunn had 2. And Jayla Smith had 6. So I mentioned many times throughout the broadcast, Lawrence North averages 60 points per game on the offensive end. They put up 30 against Homestead. And this is just a special, special game. I mentioned the traveling trophy, just all-around great environment at Homestead High School. The biggest win of the season by Homestead. I think they should be the number 1 ranked team in the state. Maybe behind Northwestern, they should be number 2. But there's an argument that they are definitely a top 2 team in the state right now.
Yeah, I mean, even if they aren't ranked number 1, when they bring out the new rankings, I mean, a lot of people in the area and a lot of people in the state will see this team as the team to be in Indiana and the number 1 team in 4A. That's how I see Homestead after this huge victory, where they just